Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wicked Encounters, where we explore just what goes bump in the night. I'm your host, Allie, and it's every horror fan's favorite time of year, October. In celebration of the spookiest month, I've compiled a list of movies that I think are worth sharing with you guys, and I'm calling it the 31 Days of Wicked Horror. We're on lucky number 13 of October now, but in case it's your first time checking in, I'll tell you how I've selected these movies that I believe are worthy enough for you to watch. But first, the rules. 1. None of the movies are going to be older than 20 years, so we can add some newer videos to our must-watch lists instead of continuing to repeat the same ones from 50 years ago. It's not Friday, Jason, get! Secondly, I'll be providing the synopsis and plot of the movies for those who may not like surprises or want to know what the movies are about. There will be a slide letting you know when we're coming up on it, and I'll let you know where it's safe to click on to avoid spoilers. Also, while many of the movies are streamable, I'm not really going to provide the info on where you can watch them, because it varies based on where you live, and streaming services love removing and adding movies like there's no tomorrow, whether they're good or not. Finally, I'm going to give you some reasons as to why the movie stands out, and why I think you'll like it. So, 13th on our list is Train to Busan. Train to Busan is a 2016 South Korean zombie horror film directed by Yeon Sang-ho, and produced by Next Entertainment World and Red Peter Film. Set against the backdrop of a fast-moving train journeying from Seoul to Busan, the film is both a thrilling action-packed horror and a poignant social commentary, delivering a fresh take on the zombie genre. I'm going to go more in depth and go over the plot of the movie now, and also probably screw up every single name, so if you'd like to skip that, you'll know where to skip to in 3, 2, 1. The story begins with So-woo, a workaholic fund manager in Seoul, who is estranged from his young daughter, Soo-an. His dedication to his job has caused a rift in their relationship, as Soo-an lives with her grandmother and misses her father's attention. For Soo-an's birthday, she wishes to visit her mother, who lives in Busan. Reluctantly, So-woo agrees and takes her on the KTX high-speed train to Busan. As the train prepares to leave, news reports indicate strange events happening across the country, but the passengers remain largely unaware of the growing crisis. Unbeknownst to them, a viral outbreak is turning people into aggressive, flesh-eating zombies. Just before the train leaves, an infected woman manages to board, unnoticed by the staff and passengers. She soon succumbs to the virus, transforms into a zombie, and attacks a train attendant, quickly spreading the infection through the train. As the infection spreads rapidly through the train cars, chaos ensues. Passengers are attacked, bitten, and turned into zombies within seconds, creating a terrifying chain reaction. The survivors, including So-woo and Soo-an, scramble to escape the carnage, desperately trying to find a safe place on the train. Among the survivors are Sang-hwa, a tough and selfless man traveling with his pregnant wife, Seong-kyung, Yong-guk, a high school baseball player, Jin-hee, a cheerleader, and Yeon-suk, a selfish and arrogant COO of a large company. So-woo's initial instinct is to prioritize his and Soo-an's safety above all else, reflecting his cold, self-centered nature. But as the journey progresses, So-woo's character begins to change, influenced by the actions of others, particularly Sang-hwa, who repeatedly puts himself in danger to protect not only his wife, but also other passengers. The survivors make several attempts to reach safety by moving between train cars, battling hordes of zombies along the way. They soon discover that the zombies are blind in the dark and only react to sound, which they use to their advantage to navigate through the infected cars. The group's ultimate goal is to reach Busan, which is rumored to be a safe zone free from the outbreak. Throughout their journey, the survivors face numerous challenges, both from the zombies and from the selfishness and fear of other passengers. Yeon-suk in particular becomes a dangerous antagonist, manipulating others to protect himself at the expense of the group's safety. His actions lead to several deaths, including those of many of the survivors' close companions. As the train nears its final destination, the situation becomes increasingly dire. The survivors face a final desperate struggle for survival when the train they're on becomes derailed near the station, forcing them to continue on foot. So-woo, Soo-an, and Song-kyung, along with a few others, manage to reach another train, but Yeon-suk, now infected, causes more devastation. In a heart-wrenching climax, So-woo is bitten while trying to protect Soo-an and Seong-kyung from the infected Yeon-suk. Realizing he has only moments before he turns, So-woo tearfully says goodbye to Soo-an, entrusting her care to Seong-kyung. He throws himself off the back of the moving train to prevent himself from harming his daughter, sacrificing himself to ensure her safety. The film ends with Soo-an and Seong-kyung arriving at the heavily fortified Busan station, where they are initially mistaken for zombies by soldiers guarding the safe zone. However, Soo-an begins singing a song she had prepared for her father, proving they are human. The soldiers lower their weapons, and the two are finally safe. And with that, the film ends. Oh, hello! I'm so glad to see you! To those who stayed, I hope you enjoyed what you heard enough to give it a watch. And for those who skipped, if you haven't watched many Asian horror movies, oh my god, you're missing out. They've got such a unique way of telling horror that can make even well-trodden themes in Western films have a certain spice to them. But I bet you're wondering why it made it on my list. What makes Train to Busan stand out? First and foremost comes the emotional depth and character development. Train to Busan is not just a horror movie. It's a deeply emotional story about sacrifice, redemption, and the bonds between people. The character arcs, especially So-woo, and his transformation from a self-centered businessman to a caring father, add significant emotional weight to the film. The relationships between the characters, particularly the familial bonds, make the audience care deeply about their fates, which heightens the tension and horror. Social commentary. The film offers a sharp critique of class divisions, selfishness, and societal indifference. Yeon-suk, the film's human antagonist, embodies the dangers of greed and self-preservation at the cost of others. The story also explores themes of unity and solidarity, contrasting those who act selfishly with those who work together to survive. This societal commentary adds depth to the horror, making it more than just a zombie movie. Fast-paced and relentless action. The film's setting on a high-speed train adds to the intensity and claustrophobia, as the characters have limited space to escape or defend themselves. The action sequences are fast-paced, thrilling, and creatively choreographed, keeping the audience on the edge of their seats. The relentless pace of the movie mirrors the relentless nature of the zombies, creating a constant sense of urgency and danger. Unique setting and cinematography. The confined setting of a train is used to great effect, with the filmmakers making full use of the narrow corridors and tight spaces to create tension. The train cars serve as both a sanctuary and a trap, with the characters forced to move forward as the zombies chase them. The cinematography enhances this tension, with dynamic camera movements and creative angles that emphasize the speed and ferocity of the zombies. Innovative zombie concept. While Train to Busan follows some traditional zombie tropes, it introduces fresh elements that make the zombies particularly terrifying. The zombies are fast, aggressive, and move in swarms, creating a more immediate and visceral threat. The way the infection spreads rapidly through the train adds to the horror, as even a single bite can lead to instant transformation and chaos. Blend of horror and humanity. The film masterfully balances horror with human drama, making the characters' struggles and sacrifices feel real and significant. The focus on human emotions and relationships sets Train to Busan apart from many other zombie films, which often prioritize gore and shock value over character development. The horror comes not just from the zombies, but from the human choices and the moral dilemmas faced by the characters. Strong performances. The cast delivers strong performances, particularly Gong Yoo as Soo-woo and Ma Dong-seok as Sang-hwa. Their portrayals of flawed but ultimately heroic characters add depth to the film. Kim Soo-an's performance as Soo-an is also noteworthy, as she brings a sense of innocence and vulnerability that contrasts with the horror around her. International appeal and impact. Train to Busan became a global success, resonating with audiences worldwide. Its blend of horror, action, and emotional storytelling made it accessible to both fans of the zombie genre and general audiences. The film's success also highlighted the strength of South Korean cinema, showcasing its ability to produce high-quality genre films with universal appeal. Train to Busan stands out in the horror genre for its emotional depth, social commentary, and relentless action. It's a film that combines heart-pounding horror with a powerful story about love, sacrifice, and humanity, making it one of the most compelling and memorable entries in the zombie genre. And that's all I have on Train to Busan. But don't worry, I have 18 more movies I'll be sharing with you. What do you think they could be? How do you feel about Train to Busan being on the list? Would it make it onto yours? Are you glad to see a foreign film on the list, even if I messed up every single name possible? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to discuss horror more in depth with you all, so feel free to join the Wicked Encounters Discord group. If you like what I do and want to support me, maybe consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the little bell icon so you know when I post. If you want to support me in other ways, maybe check out my Patreon. Speaking of, I'd like to give a great big thank you to my patrons, Nakala and Beefalump. You guys are the bee's knees. Well, that's all I've got time for today. So remember, I'm Allie, this is Wicked Encounters, and I'll see you next time. Bye!